All right. Welcome. One of one interviews. I'm Steven. This is my guy Kane. Kane, you guys might know him from Facebook, all over the place. Dads that break, buying, selling, dropping likes, comments. Here we go. Kane, welcome in, dude. I appreciate you sitting down to join us. Why don't you do everybody a favor and let them know a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It's pretty cool. Not somewhere I thought I'd end up in the card world, so it's a cool experience. Um, I've only been in the hobby, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years now. Um, got into the hobby just to kind of keep my mind busy. I'm in recovery, so if anyone can relate, they know that sometimes your mind just kind of takes some turns and gets preoccupied with things. Outside of that, I'm a foster dad, foster and adopted dad. Got 5 kids right now. Um, Currently only working a couple part-time jobs. I stepped away from full-time to just spend more time with my kids, leading into the adoption, and then uh, spend a lot more time on my phone now with that when they're in school. So a lot more time for the hobby. But yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Right on. Um, if maybe if we can get into it in a bit, because I've heard you mention and you mentioned to me keeping yourself busy. Actually, let's just go to it now if you don't mind. So,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that? So, when you say keeping your mind busy in regards to addiction and then sports cards, break it down for me.
Yeah, I feel like so when I first got into the hobby, it was literally just like an impulse decision. So I grew up playing sports. So it was a big part of my life. And then as an adult, got into some not so great things. Um, but I joined fantasy football. Like I know I'd never watched a game of football because I grew up not allowed to play football, so I was really into basketball and soccer. Joined fantasy football, and that like my mind went crazy with just stats and listening to things and trying to do all this research. Um, and so it kept me really busy in that sense, just like knowing what I'm doing, knowing about the players, knowing about the stats. I'm a big numbers guy, so all that stuff was kind of fun. And then one day I was just like, hey, this is only during football season. So outside of that, like, how can I kind of stay involved in something similar that I like tracking stats, tracking players, tracking all those ups and downs and those kind of things. Um, so I honestly couldn't even tell you exactly like what it was that made me do this, but I went on my Target app, knew nothing about cards. I collected like Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, um, and just bought a box of football cards that I saw on Target. I bought the complete box set, knowing nothing, and I was like, "Oh, cool, let's chase. Like, let's see what I could get out of this. I think this is how you do it." Obviously, I just pulled some base rookies because it's a complete set, and I was like, "All right, that's not as exciting as I thought." Um, and so I started just buying boxes like on eBay and things like that. I just like bid on them, start trying to learn about it, and then I was trying to kind of make it so I could get into this without spending a bunch of money and like kind of having my wife like, "Oh, what's going on?" So I'd buy these boxes when I'm on eBay or like find them on Marketplace, kind of talk people down, get good deals, and I'll sell them pretty much like whatever. Like I made $10 on a box, maybe $20 on a box, and I'd sell enough of them to rip one box every time. Um, I bought one and I bought something and it wasn't selling, and that'll kind of probably lead into another conversation, but it kind of introduced me to breaking because someone was like, "Oh, just go break the box," and I was like, "I have no idea what this is." So then
Right.
there's just so many different paths in the hobby, and like as far as keeping my mind busy, just thinking about creative ways to fill lines or to build groups or to get your name out there. Um, but just everything that goes into it too. Like, hey, you sold this player a month ago, probably the wrong time, or you bought this guy because you knew or you were thinking, in 2 months, I'm gonna flip this for way more than I just bought it. So I feel like to be really good at not breaking the bank in the hobby, I guess I could say, you got to think about all these things that go into it. It's time to sell, having your name out there, just so many components to like I feel like being successful or engaged in the hobby. So I'd say that's kind of what I mean by like it keeps my mind busy.
That makes a lot of sense. Not to knock all these dudes uh selling now because I get it, but a mass sell off of McCarthy, right?
Yeah.
I don't wanna get in it because like, I'm not same with Penix, like, I'm good, man, like, maybe last month. Um, I hear what you're saying. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. Like, a lot of us have to learn if we do learn it, have to learn that the hard way. And it's not the cost effective way. To be forward thinking. I guess that's anything with life, right? We should probably have a little bit of a plan. Um, and maybe somebody needs to write that real quick. Sports cards for dummies book.
Yeah.
It needs to happen, dude.
Yeah,
So
no, for real.
uh,
And
um, yeah,
yeah, I mean, obviously, we're connecting this to keep my mind busy being a recovering addict. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Obviously, we get a little itch scratched for any of that us that have that addiction when we do join lines and do that kind of stuff. And
right, right,
I'd say it's a two-edged sword, a double-edged sword.
yeah.
Because I have a lot of rules for myself in place because I play a lot. I do know that I have an addictive personality. I have at times, whether it's sports betting or on cards, um, not put my family at risk or anything like that. I think I'm in a responsible state, but I've noticed myself, hey, am I joining this line because I want this card, I want to support this person or this, or am I keeping going, going, going because this is it? It's just really right there. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, I feel like I've connected with a lot of guys in the hobby that are recovering addicts just because uh, people don't like to admit it, but it is gambling. It is scratching that itch too. So
100%. For example, I might whatever I'm doing, I'm not on my phone for a while, then I open Facebook up and a line is just happened, or my algorithm is probably like yours. Nothing but lines and I'm like, boom, I'm just hopping in it because it was, I don't necessarily want the card, maybe don't even know whose line it is, but it's that instant like, shit, I haven't done this. It's gotta be like a hit, it is. I mean, who are we kidding?
yeah,
Let's be honest about it. But I made a post, what was it, a week or two ago, and you responded with videos, which were awesome. And I decided, dude, we got to elaborate on this a little more. And for any of you guys who didn't see it, it was a pretty simple post. It was just, what is the state of the hobby like? And I dropped a few things, and Kane's responses were extremely well thought out, and he seemed pretty comfortable on video, and I'm like, dude, let's do this. So let's go over that a little bit. I guess I want to start with the first question I asked and kind of hear what you think. But all of us that tend to watch my stuff, are Facebook related. I'm not the Instagram, TikTok guy. A lot of stuff I talk about is Facebook related, and that's why guys on Facebook like it. Has Facebook improved the hobby, or has Facebook watered it down?
yeah, yeah. That was a fun post. I got to say, I don't take time very often when I'm scrolling through posts, and I saw that. And I remember even that morning, I was like, "Hey, someone send me this because I
Mm-hmm.
I will actually respond to this like with some thought." Um, and I feel like when I get texting, I'll just be blabbing, and I'm like, I mean, I didn't really want to say that in that way.
Right.
Um, but yeah, no, I think Facebook. I definitely want to say it's watered it down. Um, Kind of to what I was saying about the thought process. Like, I think Facebook gives people however they want to be in the hobby. It gives them the opportunity to do that. You might have to look around for the right group. Maybe you're someone who loves lines. You like the buyback lines because you want to try to get some money to chase the card or chase the cards you want. Maybe you're someone that likes breaking. You could find that on there. Guys who like flashing, maybe dropping a couple dollars and hey, it's like playing the lotto, but maybe I'll hit this card. Um, or just guys that like the community feel. I mean, for me, like that was my biggest draw to Facebook. I mean, I have a TikTok account that I sometimes remember like once every 4 months. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a TikTok. Hey, see what's going on over there. Pretty sure I have a whatnot account. Don't think I've done a single thing on it. Um, so for me, like the big draw was the community. and kind of just having a sense of like, yeah, we're all guys connected around the same thing, around this cardboard, around this hobby. Um, and I felt like when I was getting into the hobby, Facebook was a place to really get that connection, just with me personally exploring, some of the other apps, seeing how people operate, seeing how things are done. Um, so I think, I think Facebook has definitely improved the hobby, and given, guys who may not have an opportunity, may not want to go to card shows. Maybe they're huge introverts. They got tons of fire, but they're not gonna sit at a table and engage with people face to face and talk to them and try to sell their cards or try to buy cards. It's a lot easier to sit behind a phone and be like, oh yeah, I want this card. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Facebook gives an outlet for every kind of person that's in the hobby.
I dig it. I agree, man. I think I've said it a million times, man. It's a 24-hour, 7-day a week card show for us. And on top of that, there's all kinds of different rooms in that card show. And like you said, that's the beauty of it, man. If you like repacks, go over here. If you like flashes, go. Yeah, that's sick. Speaking of whatnot, you've got a whatnot. You don't really mess with it. I my first breaking started on whatnot, and then I was in to breaks on Facebook, but when I started, I went to whatnot because it was the Wild West, man. Like it was wide open, and it's cool if you want to sit there and grind. I did not, so I decided to go back to Facebook. But what do you think about Whatnot's influence on sports cards, and not just Whatnot, but Whatnot Fanatics, but like that whole what eBay's trying to do live selling app? Like, what's your overall thoughts just from what you've seen by it?
Yeah, I think that like everything, there's pros and cons, and there's businesses or corporations inside of those businesses that you want to trust, and ones that you probably shouldn't. Um, and I mean, I think, someone being on Facebook a lot, we see the things, oh, this streamer on TikTok, this streamer on whatnot, look, they did this break and they scammed this card, they switched out the card, things like that. Um, I feel like it ties back to it's not as much a community from what I've seen. It's more, I could go on there and I'm gonna buy a card from this guy, I'm gonna get in this. Um, he's not gonna remember who I am. And maybe he does because I buy from him a lot. He probably isn't gonna take the time to get to know me. It's a grind, like you said. Like I've when I started looked into how you get to being on those live platforms, how you build a following. Um, it's a grind, but I feel like a lot of things that happen on there, if they were to happen on Facebook, um, you got you got a squad behind you. You got the whole Facebook community. You're gonna, hey, this guy ripped me off for a card. That guy's done. Like he's not gonna, you know. Um, so I think that's one aspect of that. I think there are people on whatnot, and good for them. Um, the market is made by the buyer for sure. So not knocking what anyone does, but I'm not a fan. I want to feel very great on either end of, if I'm running sudden death auctions or things like that, because I know I got this following of a bunch of guys that really don't understand comps or don't understand the value of the cards. And I'm sitting there, yelling, oh, it's under comp. We're so low right now. Like those videos you'll see, and you got a card that's $300 selling for 1,200.
Right,
Like,
right,
great on the seller, you can't knock them. You can't knock the buyer. Like, if you got that money and you want to spend it on that card, that's your money. You do you. I'm not here to pocket watch you. But I personally think that it- there's a lot of stuff like that goes on. Um, that just really wasn't a space for me. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not knocking anyone who does it. And maybe I'll go over to whatnot. I bought some Pokemon cards off a rip on TikTok, things like that.
hmm
Um, Because if you're smart, if you know what you're doing, I mean, as a buyer, I don't think you're
yeah,
going to put yourself in a bad situation. And as a seller, if you could look to capitalize and make that money, why not? Why
right.
not? Um, but yeah, it just wasn't really for me at the time. I joined up, and then I got super going on Facebook. So
With with your experience, so far in the hobby, wha what would you just a rough estimate, like 50%, 25, 75, whatever, how many cats in that you've encountered would you consider a smart buyer? I know that's a tough one, but like, so what I'm saying is, at least in my circles, and I think our circles are very similar, if not the same. I think a high percentage are fairly educated on comps and stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say, um, I don't do a whole lot of selling these days, outright selling.
Hmm.
I move most of my stuff online.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that not that people are uneducated. I've definitely had some people come in and be like, "Oh, how does this work?" or things like
Sure, sure,
that.
sure.
The lines. But I would say, honestly, probably 85, 90% of buyers on Facebook, if they're looking around to buy cards, they know what they're doing. They know
Yeah,
that, from their standpoint, they're probably going to come and offer you 80%, which, uh,
that's me.
yeah, that's like, why not? You got to avoid those fees. But from my standpoint, that's why I have a great line following. I'm just going to line my card and get 100%
Yeah,
for me. But
or more.
yeah, or more. If I'm in a
Hmm.
tight spot though, and I'm like, yeah, and I want to sell this card real quick. Sure, shoot me 80%. That's cool. I don't got to worry
Yeah.
about eBay. I don't got to worry about that stuff. But I would say the majority of people I run into, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I asked that because on the time, when I was breaking on Whatnot, I was doing repacks and I was doing them for a large group that's on Facebook that I'm no longer affiliated with, but I was the first one to take those repacks over there. Uh, I mean, I at the Cleveland National, I got onboarded by Whatnot for the what do they call that term where it was your rewards program, the buyer's rewards. It was before everybody got it. And so in that time that I was doing it, I'd say maybe 50% of people were, educated. These guys on Facebook are pretty sharp. Now, I don't know that all of them are planning out a month or two in advance, but they definitely understand comps. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, so with breaking, you used to break, you don't break anymore.
Um, yeah. To generalize it, yeah, I don't break anymore. I will every now and then. I got a family friend. Their kid is into cards, and he found my Facebook and everything I'm connected with, and he asked, he's like, "Hey, can we run a break? Like, can I do it?" And so that got me, thinking like, yeah, I'll probably get some stuff just to have you on there. Um,
That's cool.
but the last break I did was literally I won a flash. I won like a prism case, I think, on a flash. Uh, and there are definitely some flashes that I'm like, oh, I really want this. Most flashes I get in, I'm like, I'm just throwing support at you.
Yep.
I'm just supporting you. So I won the case just off of a support claim, and I was like, I don't care to rip a case of blasters. I don't care to flip this. Like, I'm not in it a bunch. Um, I could go give it to the group basically, as like a PC break. So I pre-filled the break before I even posted it. Like, put people's names on the teams I knew they collected. Um, and basically it was just like, hey, if you wanna keep your team, just shoot me $20. If you can't shoot $20, if that's too much, just let me know. Like, I was like, I just want to cover my materials and my shipping and the time it's going to take for me to do this. So that was the last time I broke. But other than that, I would say it's definitely been a couple months, just because as a breaker, will admit that I'm probably one of the slowest shippers you will ever break with. I am not a scammer. I have your cards, even if I don't ship them for 2 weeks. I got them set aside with your name on it. Uh, but yeah, it's a lot to ship out 32 teams. If you got a
Yeah.
guy on each team and sorting it and doing that, and uh yeah, it was a lot of time. Consumed a lot of my time.
It's wild. That's why I did repacks, man. I'm not trying to sort 32 teams.
Yeah.
And then especially you're like, "Hey man, do you mind if can I get my base?" Like, "Well, yeah, you paid for it, but now I got to like,
Yeah.
Um, what do you think about that? Do you think breaking in general has made the hobby more accessible to people? And has it affected cost? Like, everybody, breaks are running everything up. They're break or these repackers are at the card shows buying up everything, and by the time we get there, there's nothing left. I call baloney on that because I'm at the shows, and at 11 o'clock, there's stuff there. Trust me. But I mean, do you think breaking has made it better or worse, or what's your thoughts on the whole thing?
I think it's definitely made it better, for sure. I think that um, I think that breakers get a bad rap in a lot of ways, because same reason that scalpers and things like that, the guys that buy up all the boxes, they're probably breakers or they're flippers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's business. That's a business world.
Yep.
I think breakers, you want to complain that you get to your Target, you go to your local show and or whatever, and your Walmart. You try to hit the restock and you don't get a box. You don't get a box to rip for yourself or rip for your kids. Like, yeah, I mean that's a bummer. Um, but breaks, like, okay, yeah, I missed out on. I didn't buy a single mosaic box this year. Didn't buy a single 2025 mosaic box. If I'm like, hey, I want to try to get some cards, maybe for my PC, I'm gonna go grab the Niners and a break real quick. Cool. I think it's the same as people you're buying off of. You get breakers you trust. You get breakers who, um, they're not here to rake in all the money they can. They're doing it because they enjoy it. They're doing it because they get to open cards for people. I know a lot of the guys that I will choose to go break with. You ask them, hey, is it more fun to rip a giant card for yourself or to pull a big card live and see everyone's reaction in the chat and know that you're sending this to this guy. Um, and I would say 100%, 95 at minimum of guys that I will choose to go break with, they do it because they love it. They're going to tell you they'd rather pull a big card for someone.
For
Um,
sure.
because they're not going to go rip all those boxes themselves. I'm not going to go spend $700 just to rip some wax and hope I hit a big card.
That's
But
insane.
yeah, I mean, but am I going to go spend, maybe $70, see if I hit something big?
Right.
Why not?
I dig
Why not?
it. I agree, man. I think every breaker I know, I did it, man. Even with my son, like we pulled this Josh Allen rated rookie auto. It didn't go to me, but it felt like it did. And dude, I have never been so hyped. It was wild. And I mean, I still got a video. I got a clip from Whatnot, and like how my son lost his shit. And like it wasn't even ours, but we got to send it to him. It was kind of, it was cool, man. And then that connection, that's one of them cards dude's probably gonna hang on to. And it's just something there. I agree. What about repacks though? That gets a lot more hate than breaking it, if you ask me. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I definitely think he gets a lot more hate because I think it really comes down to kind of all. I feel like the biggest word in the hobby, if you had like 5 words that were just like, oh, these are the hobby, is trust. I would say
Mm,
that's one of the biggest things for me is trust. And um, I used to hate on repacks heavy. I'll say that. When I was breaking and first getting into the hobby and kind of learning the world, um, you do see a lot of the negative. And you do see, I bought some repacks from people to throw in breaks and things like that. Um, and I learned after one or two that I didn't feel comfortable with that, because I'm not the one packing these things. And
mhm.
so is this gonna be value for my breakers? Like, am I gonna rip into this and be like, oh yeah, they're gonna be stoked that they paid an extra $10 each spot to hit this?
Right.
Um, so I think repacks are great. I think it's about the trust in where those repacks are coming from, who's packing them, because you tell me, hey Ken, you could rip that that 2025 hobby box for 200, $300, or you can, rip this repack for the same price. The floor is X amount of dollars. You might lose $50. You might lose even $100, whatever the floor is for that. But you could hit a grail, or you could hit on average. These repacks are hitting these $500 cards, this or that.
Right.
I'm gonna take that repack. I'm gonna take that deal because
All
I'm
day.
gonna rip this box of wax for the same price and hope there's a really good card in that box.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in there. I could be like, oh, cool, look at this hobby auto of some rookie lineman that I've never heard of. That was my auto for this hobby box.
That's my every hobby box, dude.
Yeah,
Every one of them. It sucks,
yeah.
man.
So I think
Yeah.
repacks. I think they give more of the, let's just say, like, everyday person. Guys who aren't out here, um, not one of the big dogs per se. Because we all know who the big dogs are in the hobby. We see their name in everything. We see them dropping
Oh yeah.
hundreds on lines,
Oh yeah.
breaking the biggest stuff. Maybe say you're not one of those guys. You got a chance to get a card that one of those guys want. You got a chance in certain repacks. You got a chance to hit that grail card or hit that big card.
For sure.
Uh, Not even if it is a grail card. You hit a $500 card.
Mhm.
You go flip that and keep them going. Like, you got a chance to get more in off a
Yeah.
repack. I think you do on a break. Um, so I would honestly say at this point, I went from really hating on repacks to learning that I just got to know what repacks, who's repacking them, what this
Yeah.
company, what this group is, what this brand is. Um, to now, I would probably, if I'm just looking to gamble and not get PC stuff, I'm gonna lean. You do a repack break or you do this break. I'm probably gonna go for the repack break.
Right.
But I'm also, I got really bad luck. So honestly, if I wanted a repack, I'd probably just ask you how much to buy one of them
Dome
for
the whole
myself
thing, dude.
personal. Yeah, I'm like, I ain't gonna
I
risk my team missing. So
Dude, my wife said that she's awesome. She's at Target like 15 times a day with my daughter. I don't know why, but and I know retail is but we can't afford hobby. We're regular people. So she'll see something and she knows what's up. She sees some optic, which never happens, or whatever. She'll grab some. And then after a while, like, I don't know, 3 days, because now she's been there 45 times and bought a box each time. She's like, why don't you just buy a repack and do it that way? Because you've got all these cards that are, you're just gonna donate them to your local nonprofit. Shout out Jackson Bear Hugs. And when you can get at least a floor will be 75, ceiling 500, with a chance to hit a vault, anything over 500, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I get it. It makes sense. I think it's back to that, sports cards for dummies book, dude. Like, but you gotta be around. You gotta be around, to know this shit. You can't know all of it, and things change. Look how much rooms have changed and shit in the past couple months. Things are shifting all over the place. We've seen a couple die over the past month or so, and you just got to be around. I don't know. Let's go to Facebook, and kind of skip from the whole general thing. Let's talk about buybacks. So uh, I'm weird about it. A lot of times I am in it for the card if I'm not just supporting. That's why I jump in the line. So then I'm like, damn, man, this spot might have went up 5, 10, 20, 50. How big's the line, just for the buyback chase? What do you think about buybacks?
oh man, uh, that's like my bread and butter these days. Um, as an OP is the original poster of a line. I'm 100% for him, of course.
Right.
Um, like we talked about earlier. I'm gonna make not only 100% of comps on this card. In most groups that comp is the last ship round. I'm gonna make comp and then some.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I'm obviously gonna be happy as a guy lining the card. Uh, I think that when it comes to like taking card, it's I definitely get the perspective of getting a line, be like, dang, if this was round four, or if this was just an OG line,
Hmm.
I'd be spending, maybe $20 on this spot instead I'm spending 40.
Right.
Um, the way I look at it, if I really want the card, I'm like, yeah, I spent $40, but um, on the same accord, I still got the card for cheaper,
Yeah,
but
you couldn't have
it's
bought it for
dangerous
40.
too. It's dangerous too when I'm chasing a card, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy one spot in this round and hope to win the card, and if not, I'm gonna buy another spot on the next round and another spot on the next round. And I'm like, I could have bought the card, god damn it!
Yeah,
Like
for sure, without a
I could have
doubt.
just bought it. I just went all 4 rounds chasing this dang card. Um, but I think that's when a lot of the support back comes in. When I was a breaker, uh, I met a lot of people that they in the break world weren't very into the support gets support as far as
Hmm.
breaking. And I was new. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I get both perspective. Like, you want me to hop in your break, you're gonna hop in my break. But obviously, I'm a breaker. If I fill my break by hopping in everyone's break, how am I ever supposed to make any money? Like,
Sure.
um, but I think when it comes to buyback lines, 100% you support the support, 100%, because everyone knows that your card is starting round one, depending on what group you're in, is starting 3 to 4 or 30 to 40% higher of a comp. You're say you got 3 rounds, you're going to take that card comp, the average comp, and you're going to multiply it by 1.3. There you go. There's your round one. If it's 4 rounds, 1.4. There's your round one. Whatever the group. So everyone sees, everyone knows, like, whether they're chasing the money or they're chasing the card. They know if the money's taken, you just made. Say, I mean, shoot. Say you got a $200 round one. You make $40 round one. You make $32 round two. You make, well, I'm losing track of math. You make $28 round three. If there's 4 rounds, then your card finally ships at comp. So
Yep,
you're now almost $100 over comp for your
without a
pockets,
doubt.
which is cool. And if it's a big line, I lined a card the other day. Uh, round one was 4 grand. The buyback was $3,200. So you see that as someone who's not me, too. If I have that round two up later, I just made $800 on that card. So you see that, and then you see me getting nothing. You see me in nobody's lines, offering no support. You gonna come back to my line?
No, right,
No.
right.
So I think the pros of buyback lines, whether you're chasing card or you're chasing buyback, is that the people posting them, for the most part, like I made a comment about some other people that don't really understand the concept in the state of the hobby post. But for the most part, these guys who are running these groups, who are posting these lines, they understand that if they want their lines to fill, they go help fill other people's lines. And so now you're creating a flow. You're creating more sellers. You're giving more guys opportunities to get lines, because maybe you're just a gambler, and you like to chase the card. You like to do that. Now you got a chance to line a card. Maybe you thought, oh, I never really do this, but now I need to get some money back. Um, and so I think they're great. I think people are moving stuff. It's putting more money into the hobby. That
Right.
because if I sell my card, if I go do an OG line, not me personally, I'm just hypothetically, if someone goes
Hmm.
and does that, yeah, half the people that do it will probably put some of that money back in support. The other half, they're probably selling that card because they want some money. So they're gonna line that card. Cool, I sold this card. Now I have money. Now I'm gonna go about my day.
Right.
I feel like the buyback lines and the groups that run those, you're setting up more of a precedent to put money back in the hobby than whereas the OG lines are, you know, I'm gonna hop in a bunch of OG lines. more so for I want this stuff, not I see who's lining it. Buyback lines, I don't look at what the card is first. I look at who's posting it. Who's posting this line? Okay, this guy who supports all the time. I'm gonna get in his line. Oh, cool. This is a card that I want. Cool. If I win, I'll take a card maybe. Oh, it's not a card I want. Cool. I supported this guy. If I win, I'll take some money.
Yep. That's I got 2 comments on that. The first one of the biggest compliments I've gotten recently was somebody hopping in one, and then we were talking after the messaging afterwards after one of my flashes, and he said, "I support the supporters." Damn, that makes you feel good, because, probably I support way more at home, way more, and that's just how it is, in our room, but I try. 2, what you just described to me, I spoke to I tried to get him to do an interview, so I'm not gonna say his name. Very, very large room, very high-end room, very, very wise dude, broke it down like a pond, and if any of you
Hmm.
guys heard him say that before, you know who it is, but, each thing has to be fed, the small lines, the big lines, and I don't wanna, that's exactly what it is, man. It is, if I don't see you hopping in, if you're a damn ATM, you said it yourself. We've got a name for these dudes.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no way, ain't no way I'm getting in. But if you're consistently, just on everybody's stuff, man, how do I not support that? As somebody that wants to see a room successful, Facebook successful, just cards in general successful, how do you not support that? That you
Yeah.
got to show love to them dudes. That it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, yeah, we all know who those guys are. We all know who the ATMs are. We're not gonna go out listing names or nothing, but you're gonna watch their lines sit there. Maybe some guys that are new to a room and or maybe really want that card or this
Yeah.
and that. Because I'm gonna be real, you could. I'm a Brock Purdy collector. I PC Brock Purdy and Debo. And then for basketball, Steph Curry. I'm up in NorCal.
Mhm.
If you're a guy I see line all the time and never support, you could line a Grail card in my eyes. You could line a Brock Purdy autograph PSA 10. I'm not gonna get in that. You could line it $200 under comps.
Mhm.
I probably won't get in that. Um, because it's really the principle. That card's gonna come back up. That card's gonna come around. If I really want that card, I'll buy that card.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blatantly go around and hit up every person and say, hey, this is why people aren't filling your lines. This is why this is why that. Um, especially if I've never talked to you.
Oh, for sure.
But I think that it's just like an unspoken thing is almost sending a message. Like, don't come into our room,
Oh,
poach all this money on your
mhm.
lines, and not put any of it back. Like you
Yeah.
said, you've seen rooms die. That's how rooms die. The guys getting all the money are the guys that aren't going to play. So now
Yep.
the guys that do play, they're running out of money,
Oh,
and
100%.
now we're just in the analogy. The pond's empty. The pond's running dry.
Oh, yeah. Fish got too
Uh,
big. Fish died. No food.
yeah,
For
yeah,
sure. It makes so
exactly.
much sense, dude. It makes so much sense. Now, okay, here's the flip side though. I see your name all over the place. I've seen you in a lot of rooms. So it's just I think it's an interesting question for you because it's like asking Connor. Connor is everywhere, dude. Like, and if Connor runs something, I'm gonna try to get in it. If I see it, if I'm there, he's one of them dudes. He's one of those dudes for sure. Um, so how do you navigate the fact that there's 800 at once? Maybe you got like 4 or 5 of them dudes. Maybe you got 20. I don't know. Whatever the case is, how do you navigate trying to be a good supporter everywhere? Like, how do you do it?
Man, that's the question of all questions right there.
Right?
Um, so if I say I just ran a flash, say I just did like a big buyback, say I got some extra money, Um, most guys that line and that do those kind of things, they're also eventually flashing.
Mhm.
I love flashes for some little support when I don't have a ton of money. So maybe I sprinkle some in there. But if I just got some, maybe one guy's lying, maybe one guy's flashing, maybe this is happening over here. I'm gonna go sprinkle a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, on a day uh where I haven't lined a lot. I haven't, you know, my incoming money isn't huge because I try. So one of my rules, like I was talking about earlier, I try not to spend money out of my bank account. Um, because when I do that, that's when I start overspending, start scratching that itch that I talked about a little bit more.
Mhm.
So I try to have money coming in that's going to go out. My PayPal, my Venmo, my Cash App, there's money in there. That money's free money for me to spend whenever I want on whatever I want. Um, but say I don't got a lot coming in. The way I do it, because like you said, I am in a lot of rooms, I'm a lot of places. Uh, for me personally, I line a lot. So say I'm in, uh, we'll just, say I'm in over in Cardtastic,
Mhm.
and I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to post a lineup in here because, um, the group I line in mainly, over an exchange, they're not really into baseball. They're not really into basketball. Those lines aren't going to fill. So I want to get it into a group that has a little bit of diversity in that kind of thing, being so established. I'm going to spend my day supporting some people in there, supporting the people I recognize the names I know. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to throw up a line. It's the same thing. Uh, I got a buddy who has been trying to get me over to Sin, play over there and
Mhm.
line over there. Uh, and that's a big boy room.
Yes, it
And
is.
I don't always have big boy pockets. Um, but I ran a line, like a late night there. I did. And, the money I made, all that, or before I even lined it, um, I'm spending some money over there. I'm supporting their guys over there. So I think it's known too. Like, I think Connor's a great example. Like Connor, that's like one of my OG homies in the hobby. Like he used to break with me. He's him and I have been around each other for a long time. Sometimes I miss his stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, Especially I mean, sometimes I miss everybody's stuff when it comes to flashes. I'm on the West Coast.
Sure.
90% of groups they flash during my kids' dinner time. I get yelled at if I pull my phone out at the dinner table.
Right, right.
So,
As you should.
as I should, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So, that'll happen. I've told Connor, I'm like, hey, um, if you got a flash that you're really gonna need support, like need my support. You're worried that the card's gonna go under. It's a new group you're flashing in.
Sure.
These kind of things, factors like that. Just hit me up before. I'll send you some money, and you could put Kane claims via PM
Yep.
later in the because I might not be around. But I think it's an understanding for guys like that and guys, even like me who are in a lot of places. Um, if I'm lining in a group, I don't expect guys from the exchange, where I do a lot of my stuff. I don't expect them to travel to everywhere I'm at.
Yeah, if
I'm
we
gonna keep
host
them.
you in the collective, I can't you can't expect all the exchange. I got you. That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. If I come over to the collective and line something, I can't expect that. But
Right.
also, I'm not gonna come line over there. Um, you know, until I see what's going on, see who's posting, see who's joining, and I'm gonna come support some of those guys. Because obviously I know the OGs in the collective, like you said, we ran in the same circles.
Mhm.
I know Pat, I know Glenn, I know those guys. Um, but I haven't been active in that group. That's a perfect example. I haven't been active in there in a few months. I think I
Mhm.
hopped in Flash the other day.
Yeah, I remember.
Um, I don't remember whose it was, but it might not have even been for someone. It might have been a Brock Purdy auto flash that I hopped in. I think it was because Pat won it, and I was like, man, at least it went to another fan.
Oh, that couldn't be because Pat don't win nothing. Pat
I
don't
know.
win.
Telling you though, that's why I was so shocked. I was like, man, this guy never wins. And the one card I want to win, he
Yeah.
wins. But
Which would be
he's a Niner fan, so
Yep.
I was happy for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like so something like that. That's a great
Mhm.
example. Is you know, if I were to ask for flash in there or put a lineup in there, I guarantee you, I go throw up a line right now. I could think of maybe 3 or 4 people that are going to hop in it, but by no means would I expect a snap fill.
Right.
By no means would I even expect it to fill. If I'm being real with you, um, unless I got the most liquid sought after card, and these guys are just going to get in it for card. But
Mhm.
I I don't currently have the support in there, in my opinion, just because I haven't been super
Sure.
active in months to where a buyback land is a good example. I'm not going to go fill something over comps, even
Right.
for the chance to win some money,
Right.
because yeah, everyone knows who I am. But if I'm leaving your room high and dry for a little minute, why am I going to come back into your room just to make money?
That's fair, dude. I mean, my boy James over in the card exchange, like a year ago, he's like, why don't you, run some lines over here?" And it's the same reason why today I don't, is because to me, that's coming in and taking. And I wouldn't expect it, like I got boys that are in there that crush, but like, especially like when there was when there was way less a year ago, when there was way less like free range on the buybacks. And I'm like, damn, dude, I could really use that extra 30, 60, 90, but I'm also not an idiot to you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just waltz over to somewhere. I don't line in Tastic, and I love those guys, but I just don't. I'll hop in some stuff in there, but also I'm aware of Facebook's algorithm. I frequent this room and maybe these two more and these people more. So what do I see more? What do I got my notifications turned on 100% for? My room. Well, or the room I'm an admin in. It makes a lot of sense. So I do miss a lot of stuff that way alone, because I feel bad because I just pulled send one of my buddies not a lot of money, but just a little bit of money, and I was talking to Will about it, and I think the damn idea got put in my head because of him. And then I felt even worse when I missed one, a guy who supports everybody. And so I just sent him a little bit, and he's like, "You bet I'm gonna send it right back." And I'm like, "Nah, I just feel bad. We can't do that." But I could do it, so I did it. You know what I mean? It's just a wild this whole thing's wild. The support for support I agree with, but like also like, like sometimes you just can't expect, because dudes miss shit and they don't mean to. Maybe they're coaching. I coach football, and I'm at all my kids' stuff. So we're not in football season now, but my boy plays basketball. I'm there. I'm in a gym and I got no signal, man. And I can't bank at these times. I'm sorry, other admins and mods. I'm just not available in the evening to do it right now. It's just wild, I think we just got to remember and recognize, like, I don't think everybody is out here ducking your lines. We're just busy dads.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think yeah, I mean, I think it's just a crazy expectation to be like, oh, this person, I support them a lot. They should be in every single thing I do too.
Hmm.
Um, even if I support, I think this is a good example. I get in a lot of Pokemon lines to get Pokemon. That's I collect it for my daughter. Um, I got in a couple lines, and this guy, super cool of him, whose lines I was in. He said, "Hey, like I appreciate all support. Like, let me know when you line Pokemon, and I'll get back in." I was like, "Hey, I appreciate that. I'm never gonna do it. I'm never gonna line Pokemon, so
Hmm.
I don't expect you to get in." Um, but like as someone who plays a lot in general, I don't ever expect someone to get in my line because I got in your line.
Right.
I'm just probably, if I see that with everyone, if I see you supporting nobody in a room,
Sure.
I'm not going to get in your line. For me to expect everybody's support that I play, that's crazy.
It
That's
is. Yeah.
craziness. Yeah, I appreciate any support I get, and for me to expect you to support every single thing I do, because we all have real life,
Hmm.
you know. And even if you're on your phone every single time I flash, You don't have money every single time I flash. You maybe, I
Right.
don't know what your situation's like, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna come at you and be like, "Wow, bro, you really missed my flash. I flash once a month and you missed it." Like, you missed it. Cool.
Damn.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. There's guys that got in my flash that probably see my name, but I don't really know who they are. I've never had a conversation with them.
Right.
So there's gonna be guys in there. I don't need all my guys to do that because this is how the Facebook circle works. Yeah. You're friends with this dude, you support this dude, I am too. You know? We all
Yeah.
support tons of people.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, I'm gonna do $20 every single flash that every single person who supports me and that I talk to, I'm gonna do that for a month."
No way.
I'm gonna be broke.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
I thought you
So
were gonna say $5 because that'd still be broke, man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
$5. What? Shoot, man, this way you give me $1 in every single flash of every single person.
that right. It is. It's tough, man. It is tough. Dutton said support to the level that you can support at, and I love that. I love that because somebody drops $76 in my Saturday late night. I don't have that to go back with. So we're going
I'm
on a
not.
walk.
Oh, we're going on a walk. My
Hell
dogs are
yeah.
barking. My lawn guy's here, so I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Yeah, man. You got to make sure they're not spraying water on your our my long guy comes and just pretends like he's doing shit.
Oh,
He ain't
no,
doing nothing.
we got a pretty solid lawn guy.
Oh, it
He's been
must be.
he's gone house to house with us.
Mm, mm.
He does my rental property, and he does. It's gonna make no sense, but the house that I rent.
No, I get it, man. That I understand situations. I'm a fireman. A lot of the guys I work with, also have rentals and are in. They do shit like that all the time.
Yeah, I got way too many kids for the house I bought, so I have to
Yeah, yeah,
to go rent a bigger one.
totally. Um, with with flashes though, before I leave that, do you think somebody can flash too much?
Yes,
Right on, right on,
100%.
right on.
Um, I think that I mean, I think you could walk a fine line. Um, I don't think it's, gonna be the end of the world. Oh, don't ever support this guy. This guy's flashing every single day, whatever.
Sure,
Um, a lot of us are in a lot of these different groups. I've personally turned down flashes for myself because just the timing of them aligned to where like, hey, this group wanted to flash me the day after I had this flash
sure.
here. And I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do that. Um, because one, okay, say like half my really good support shows up for this flash. The next flash, either they're gonna feel pressure and torn because they're like, oh shoot, my guy's flashing, or they're not gonna show up.
Yeah.
Um, on a personal level, maybe my flash doesn't do so good, but even if it does great, um, it's looking like it's hard to put in words. Like I think I talked to a buddy and um, his viewpoint was, hey, even if you have like it's like if you got like three lines up in three different groups, he's like, in my opinion, it might look a little ATM-y.
Hmm.
Uh, he's like, even though I personally know you, I know you're not an ATM or this or that. So I think that,
That's fair.
if guys are flashing every single day or every other day or, multiple times a week, um, I could see how, and I'm speaking from not my feelings, just thinking how other people may view certain things.
Sure.
Um, they maybe think, oh, look, this guy's looking to just get money, get money, get money. Um, the guys I know that flash, not every day, but flash consistently amongst groups, farthest thing from ATMs. You
Right.
know,
They support a lot.
those those guys are doing that, but those guys are putting so much money back into the hobby.
They're probably
Uh,
not flashing enough to cover it, honestly.
yeah,
Mhm,
100%. But
mhm.
from an outside perspective, someone who, um, oh, this Joe Schmo over here is flashing in this group. He just tagged me. Oh, he just tagged me in this group. Oh, he just tagged me in this group. Uh,
Yeah,
it's been 5 tags this week for different flashes. I
yeah,
don't even know who this guy is.
yeah.
Could look like that from a perspective. Like this guy's really just coming in here, making money, making money, making money. Um, so I think it's really, I guess I would say a personal preference and personal thing. Like I'm not going to flash that often because on a personal level, I don't want my dudes to feel pressured to support me, but also my flashes probably aren't going to do as well as they do if I'm flashing as consistently. Um,
Hmm,
because my guys aren't gonna support me all the time.
yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
Well, what about the idea that it's a guaranteed set amount lining versus the risk of a flash? Does that weigh into your decision on that at all? So, like, I know I can get 500 for this card. I don't know if I'll get 350 for it if I flash. That's just, you understand what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying?
Um, I don't think so. I think it's the same thing. I think it for people, who don't know you, if they're seeing you lying everywhere all the time
Mhm,
and they're not looking at other lines, could be a bad look. Like I said, I line a lot.
mhm,
I almost every day I at least have one line up. I'll line in different groups if I'm not going to be as available. Like, we were talking about Tastic earlier. Um, I recently, probably in the last 2 months, started really playing in there.
mhm.
So my lines might take a couple days
Yeah,
to fill, or I'm going to post a mega, $10 spots, but a lot of spots
mhm,
if I'm not going to be on my phone all the time.
yeah.
Uh,
Eh,
but so I line. I always have a lineup, and if maybe I got a slow line going, I might go. I might be in exchange, and hey, I'm going to post this line I think is going to snap real quick. Um, so I think it's really just comes back down to the having your name out there and seeing the support. The guys that come to mind that I'm like, oh, they get a lot of flashes. I don't look at them as negative. I can tell you right now, I don't hop in every single one of their flashes because I don't got that kind of money to do that.
sure, sure.
Um, but good on them. Good on them for
Yeah,
having that fire of cards to do that much support in all these different rooms. Um, I think flashing is the same as filling lines. I could post lines in all these different rooms all day. Are they filling? That's the question. If they're
sure.
filling, or if anyone's posting all these lines and they're filling, I'm gonna be like, oh, that guy's probably a good supporter.
Mhm.
So if someone's flashing consistently in all these groups, that guy's probably a damn good supporter.
Yeah, there's gotta be a reason that somebody's asking them to come flash, right?
100%.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I don't think it's a negative thing to flash too much. I think if you flash all the time and you expect every one of your dudes to be in every one of them, maybe rethink some things. But
Sure. That's fair.
and I personally like I think it's a weird thing in flashes. Is there some people that they're going to support your flash off how you support other flashes?
Mhm.
Um, and so I almost never, I think the most I spend on a flash is maybe 40, $60, except for I think the donation flash you guys ran, I dropped $100. Cause it's, I don't care about the flash. I don't care about that. That's a great cause.
Yes.
Uh, but I think it's everyone just looks at things differently. So I play a lot of lions every day, support a lot of people. Um, doesn't translate for everyone to flash support, you know, because
Right.
some people don't line that much.
Yep.
So when they flash, they're looking for you to drop what they drop on their flash, not necessarily the same amount, but go hard on it. If they come into your flash and go hard, and if you don't, they're probably going to join your flash but not go hard. So it's
Yeah.
like a weird. You could be a great supporter, not a great flasher. So like
Yeah.
my butter is lines. I'll do I'll do well in flashes, but um, the guys who are huge flash supporters, I guarantee you they're going to have a way huger turnout on their flash than I will.
Yeah. I'd agree
if
with that.
if I play 100 lines to their 5 lines that they play, but they go hard in flashes. So
I I find it the whole thing interesting because I've found myself since I started doing these really paying a lot more attention to the small things. Not like it's like things are negative, but just literally just looking and watching folks. And just getting different because this room has a vibe. This room has a vibe, and I think I'm getting pretty good at it. Especially talking to more people, dude. Like truly the the guys from over here kind of think this way. The guys from over here, a lot of that has to do with the circles they run in. I think that helps me out a lot. With how I play and stuff, and also, um, I'll just tell you straight up, man, I ain't got it like that. Sorry, dog. We're going to Orlando because my daughter is a high level athlete and they're gonna win nationals again. And guess what? Cheer ain't cheap. Sorry, dog.
yeah,
But I'm gonna be there, like and I've always been like just more of a I support a bunch, so it ain't a ton. But just talking to people and understanding that, and most of the guys I talk to, guys like you, guys like Connor get it. Nick gets it. All the guys in the collective, we get it, man. Like you can't go surgeon level money on everybody unless you're a surgeon, and you can't be mad when a surgeon gets a bunch of flashes because he spends surgeon level money. He's you got to see it for what it is, man, and it's all good. And I don't know. I'm of like I only want to flash once a month. For the same reasons you said. I don't want to put pressure on people. This is what I want to do. I don't want to line cards. I don't. That's not it. You know what I mean? I want to talk to folks, and I don't want somebody because they like me to feel like they gotta come jump in my shit. Don't. Like, if you like the card, get in it, dude. I'll be fine. I'm doing stuff because I can. Like, don't ever feel that pressure. Like, you know what I mean? But not everybody's like that. And a lot of people are tit for tat, man.
yeah, no, 100%. But I
It
like
is what
what
it
you said
is.
about the surgeon Mike because I really, like I said, we know who the big dogs in the hobby
Yeah.
are. I
Yes, we
think
do.
I think there's levels. There's levels to this shit. It's
For
like
sure.
like even some of the lines in Tastic. I see the good guys playing. That's not my level.
Mm-mm.
Hell no. Can I afford to lose $500 real quick to have nothing? Probably not.
Probably
No.
not, unless I
Am
just
I
had a really good flash, and then I'm gonna be
exact?
mad.
Yeah. Then can I afford it? Yeah. Am I going to be happy about it?
No,
No.
for sure.
But you'll see those guys who it's nothing. It's
Yep.
nothing to them. Like, yeah, whatever. It's the same as me losing $50.
Yeah. Well,
So
like,
there's
shout out the homies in sin. Like, dude, I wish, I just can't. I just, maybe one day I can level. Dude, that's perfect. There is levels to this, dude.
yeah, and I think a lot of it too is like it's just even when you do have you know I line a lot, even that kind of stuff. Like I told you, my full time job is pretty much being home with my kids, and then I work part time. So I do a big, I do a line or almost any line. Half that money is going to go on my Venmo to my wife real quick so that I don't spend it, and the other
Yeah.
half I'm going to go spend. So yeah, you watch me fill this big line and this and that, but I only got half that money to play with, and once it's gone, I gotta go fill another line. I
Right.
can't, you
Right.
know. Those sin guys, the sin room's a perfect example. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll play some lines here and there. Can I play every line every day in that room? No,
Right.
heck no.
Right. Yeah.
Um, it's
All
just I
there's
think
there's a bunch of rooms I wish I could. I just can't because you guys are just bigger dogs than I am. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like
it's just different levels for
it
sure.
is.
It's just different circumstances that I think sometimes people don't even think outside of the
Yeah.
card world at times, and it's like there's life going on. Maybe that guy lined a card and needed more money than that, or flashed it, and he only can afford to put this much back into the hobby. But
Right.
putting
Right.
something in the hobby is really what matters, I think.
I think so
Um,
too. I think so too. That's why I tell people I do those custom downtowns, and a lot of them, I almost never charge anybody. A couple guys, but like especially if you're a player, like if somebody I'm connected to, and they're like, dude, and they're always like, dude, let me send you money, and I'm like, here's the thing, man. Like I owe the universe a lot. I do. and this is my stupid way of giving back. And sometimes they get what I'm saying. Sometimes they're like, dude, you're fucking weird. And I'm like, whatever, bro. It is what it is. But like, that's, I to be able to do stuff for people on whatever level. And maybe they would rather just have me drop $50 on their flash. Maybe, I don't know, but what, but would you say the state of the hobby is good or bad?
I would say it's definitely good. I mean, I could, like we were talking about earlier, just with even buyback lines giving people chances. I'm just thinking about, there's people that can sign cards for people, there's, an admin will be like hosting this card for this person. They're selling their cards. Um, the Tastic lines, the Sin groups, those groups. You're telling me these guys are moving $1,000 cards, thousands of dollars priced on this card every day, every single day those are moving. And that's just on Facebook. So
Right.
you're telling me there are people, even if it's not you, if it's not me, if it's not whoever, there are people in this industry that on Facebook are moving. When I say thousands, I mean I've seen $20,000 cards move in a day.
Yep.
They're moving that kind of money. You're telling me that there's celebrities spending millions of dollars on certain cards people hit and turning everyday Joe Schmo into now a millionaire because he pulled this cool card. If that doesn't tell you what the state of the hobby is, man, and then you just got to think about what I see on a daily and what you see on a daily, every day in and out is Facebook because that's where we like to rock. But you got arguably, I would say, probably not even arguably, because the big breakers and the big guys and the next level of, you want to talk about levels. You got the Facebook top level big dogs, and you got the whatnot and the TikTok level big dogs. So just what we see is off top. I could name a couple $20,000 cards I've seen move in the last couple weeks. Then you take those places into account, you're talking millions of dollars that are moved around one hobby every single day. Who's making it all doesn't matter, but the hobby is making millions of dollars on a daily basis for people spread out, millions of dollars. That's a thriving industry.
Right.
That's a big industry. The fact that, yeah, obviously our algorithm is going to show us all this stuff about cards, but the fact that, I've seen Dana White's card collection. I've seen, Post Malone's card collection. I've seen
Right.
that DJ Skrillex, his card collection. You're seeing all these people that, three very different people, um, there are going to be a group of people in the world that know who Dana White is and a group that don't. It's going to be a group of kids and young guys or adults that know who Skrillex is and really like Skrillex and like this. He's an EDM artist. That's a whole different population.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Post Malone, another population. So you got all these celebrities also hyping it up in different, that are going to hit different groups of individuals.
Right.
You got companies fighting over rights to things when it comes to cards. You got you got Squishmallow cards. You got
That's wild. Yes.
You got Minecraft cards. You got
Yep.
Fortnite cards. If all those industries didn't see how thriving this hobby and this industry is, you would not see a Fortnite card. You would not see a Minecraft card, SpongeBob card, those things. The industry is smart. I mean, the SpongeBob cards, that's half our generation, for the younger guys, like that's what we grew up on. But they're getting the guys in the next generation with this Minecraft stuff, Fortnite
sure.
stuff. You got a kid that can't get stoked on ripping Pokemon. They don't care. They don't care about sports. Check this out. How hyped are they going to be when they pull a Peely 1 of 1?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
the industry is bringing all these other industries into it because of how much it's thriving, because of how
Yeah.
big it is. So I think the state of the hobby is definitely not at its peak, but I think it's becoming a pillar in just the world of money.
Yeah. Yeah. When you got them talking about it on MSNBC or the finance shows, um, obviously it's something.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I listen to fantasy footballers pretty religiously. Listen to it for this when I first got invited to a fantasy football league. I'd never watched a game of football. My high school coach invited me to play, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I want to beat you at something else. Cool, let's do it." Uh, so I found the fantasy footballers because there's a big podcast. So I've listened to them for a few years now. Now they talk about cards. They're not talking about the stock on this, stock on that, but they'll throw in comments every now and then
Yeah,
about their card collection or how they got into collecting these quarterbacks this year or this and that.
for sure.
So it's everywhere. My
It is.
mom, family members that know what I do, they'll send me articles that pop
Yeah.
up in billion-dollar industries.
My
This and that.
dad sent me one the other day, dude. It was wild.
Man, I went to a pizza place, and those type like claw machine type things where it's like cut the wire and you get this
Yeah.
PS5, get that
Yeah.
sports cars, all sports cars. Cut the
Oh
wire and you
shit.
get this hobby bar. Cut the wire and you get this Tops Mega.
That's smart.
Yeah, pizza place. And I'm like, this is wild.
Yep.
Wow, a little quarter machine for kids.
Yep.
Pokemon packs, sports card packs. Choose your pack. Like you see them in airports now,
Yep.
on people in bigger places. The vending machines, this and that. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's the possibilities are so endless because it's everyone. It's big. There's something that could hook everyone. Like obviously we're big sports card guys. That's where our circles are. Uh, there's I was talking to someone about all the different cards that I've ripped or that I have, and um, half of them are weird stuff that you'll see at Target and not think twice about. But there's money in all of them. I
Mm-hmm.
got Lorcana cards. That's a Disney game, and my
Yeah.
daughter and my wife liked to rip, so we got those. I got a few $100 cards in those. You know, the Bo Jackson stuff. I finally saw some people lining it in one of the groups, and I was like, "Oh, tag me in this."
That's
I'm
wild. That just came up in our admin chat today, Bo Jackson stuff. You're right. Some steam's happening. It's starting to come.
Yeah, so it's everything. It's these Disney cards that people get.
Phew.
Look at this Mickey that's worth thousands of dollars. The
Right?
Bo Jackson cards. People are posting eBay screenshots of $1,000 cards in that. Or
Yeah.
Fortnite. They all got their thousand. Squishmallow's got freaking
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
huge cards.
Did
So
what did I see? A Squishmallow Color Blast or something. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
I want it.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, the guys that I feel like are real deep in the hobby, like, yeah, I'm gonna get any card that has value because I love cards, but people that aren't, they're drawing them in.
Yeah.
They're saying,
Yep.
"Hey, look, you could rip this stuff just for fun." Because as kids, people like to rip Pokemon cards, like to rip that. How about you rip a Fortnite card? How about you rip a Minecraft card? And then,
Yep.
oh look, now you have hundreds of dollars in your hand.
Dude. It yeah, it is. I think it's like when I was a kid, except on steroids now. It's for the better because shit's just cooler now. Movies are cooler now. Video games are cooler now. Cards are cooler now. Everything's it's awesome because the nerds grew up and learned how to translate it, and all of a sudden, we got good stuff. So shout out nerds. I wish I was a nerd. I wish I could make something. That's good
And no,
stuff.
it's wild. I mean,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
it it's hard to explain to other people outside of the hobby sometimes until they rip them. Like, my wife had no interest in the hobby and that. I could tell you right now, I bought her a booster box of Lorcana and said, "Hey, this set has gargoyles from like the Disney movies."
I loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah,
The TV show.
one of her
Yep.
favorite things. Yeah. Uh, she ripped it. She ended up pulling like a case hit from that set. An enchanted stoked.
Yep.
My daughter, when she doesn't understand value, when she
Even
rips a
better.
if she rips a Pikachu, so excited. You could rip her a base Pikachu, and she's ecstatic.
Right.
It's like
That's fun.
everyone gets joy, like it's this excitement of like, ooh, what am I gonna get?
Yep.
It's like
Dude, I,
same,
I ripped some history cards and pulled the Declaration of Independence. I was fired up, man. Fired up, dude. I love
yeah,
that shit.
it's a good feeling. I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, it's the same thing with like, as kids when you're putting the quarters in the things, you're like, what toy am I gonna get?
For sure.
It's a natural human feeling of excitement of like, ooh, what is it?
Yep. Yep.
So, and
I
there,
dig
I
it.
mean, the card world is capitalizing on that.
Yeah.
Let's
For
give that
sure.
to every branch we can.
Hell yeah. Dude,
History buffs now. I mean, shoot.
I'm all over that stuff, man. I found a channel on TikTok and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So, well, shit, man. Look, dude, we're actually my 30-minute interview is about to 3 times it, man. It's like a buyback line.
Oh,
We
yeah.
went, we
Got
went
multiple
deep.
rounds
No, that's
here.
sweet, man. I appreciate it, man. I truly appreciate your insight to it. Like the way you speak about it, and how many people tend to gravitate to you because like I can think of 3 or 4 off the top of my head that when they talk about their OG friends from the hobby, they say your name, dude. And so that's all. And they're dudes that I love to death. So like that's obviously shows me a lot. So I
I
appreciate it,
appreciate
man.
that.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sitting down with me, dude. This is good shit.
Yeah, it's been fun for real.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna do like a. I want to get some. I want to get some jokers online. So like Connor, um, Brendan, a couple different cats, and like do just like a stupid. Let's argue about things that don't matter kind of thing. And if you're in, dude, I think it'd be fun because like guys that can hold a conversation, it's a good time. So
Yeah, just let me know, man. Like I said, I mean, usually during the week while my kids are at school, I'm pretty free. So
yeah, your schedule's way better than everybody else's because I'm a
yeah,
fireman. I work 24, then I'm off for 48, and everybody's like, "Oh, I can't. I got to go to work." And I'm like, "That's lame." Like, dude, I can't do this at nighttime. I gotta be places. So
yeah, man. That's I would say just on a quick little note. We need a West Coast room. I know. Will over in Tastic have been trying to spark like who my West Coast guys that can play.
yeah,
Man, I'll lay down in bed and I'm like, all right, this is my time. My kids are asleep. I'm gonna go see what's up, play some lines. I'm like, man, I'm searching. Everyone's
yeah,
asleep. Everyone's on the East Coast.
100%, man. Yeah, for sure. Either build a West Coast room or you guys got to move to Cleveland. Said nobody ever. You know what I mean? So for sure,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not a bad idea, man. You guys should do that.
yeah, man. No,
Hell
it's
yeah,
been fun though. But yeah, let me know.
yeah.
I'll be hop on and conversate. It's funny that the two guys you named, those are two OGs when
Huh.
it comes to my hobby friends. So
That's funny. Well, I mean, I don't know that I talk to him on occasion, especially Olson lately. Like, he's always got some smart ass movie reference for me. Usually making fun of me, but it's good shit.
yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, dude. Well, again, thank you. It'll take me, I don't know, a few days or whatever to get this done, but usually it's pretty quick. But obviously, I'll send it to you before I put anything out so you can see.
Right on. You're all good, man.
Hell yeah,
Appreciate
dude. I
you.
appreciate it, man.
All right. Have a
I will
good
see
rest of your day.
you too, man. Later.
Later.